good battle between the Las Vegas Raiders and the Kansas City Chiefs. Bitter rivals going back to their AFL days in the 1960s. The Chiefs and Raiders are underway. And they will not get a chance to return this one. It's through the back of the end zone for a touchback. Carr now on first down. Ball hit as he throws there. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing now is Carr. That's caught by his tight end, Foster Moreau. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. Carr now to throw. And this is taken in by Darnell Mooney. He's got room at the 30. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
Oh, that was a nice job there. Quarterback and receiver reading the pressure that was brought. They both knew it was going to open up the middle of the field. Nice little shake and bake in the line of scrimmage, got right into his route. And the quarterback hit him in stride, and he was able to run free after the catch.
Carr's throw complete here to Waller. Touchdown, Raiders!
The losing streak had taken on a life of its own, and I think it infiltrates a team when you're on that much of a slide. But this group has managed to focus, come out early, and put a touchdown on the board. They look like they mean business in this one.
They do. Now the key, holding on to that attitude, because, man, that streak has been a struggle for them. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And he elects not to bring this one out as his guys will take over at the 25. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete.
No coverage bust by the defense here. They did a nice job accounting for everybody, and that led to an incompletion.
So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here's Jerick McKinnon, his first carry of the ball game. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First down for the Chiefs. Solid chunk of yardage, 17 on the play. The CD a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but, man, his first step is so quick, too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast the linebackers don't have a chance to react.
Mahomes now on first down. Open man here. It's the tight end, Kelce. And in for the Chiefs touchdown. Travis Kelce, his second touchdown on the season. And the Chiefs are able to match the opening drive touchdown against them with one of their own. Footing always a concern, but the extra points up and good. And we are tied at 7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. From the 6. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. In the midst of, well, let's just say a not-so-rosy losing streak. They've got the open week, though, coming up next weekend, so you have to figure this to be a game that they dearly love to have.
Oh, indeed. They have to have this one because that's something positive to take with you when you go away for a few days, and it actually releases your mind. If they lose this one, that mind stays cluttered the entire time they're away, and they've got to scramble to get back in sync when they start playing again.
To throw again on second down. Carr locates Mooney on the out route. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. This defense for the Chiefs, they were terrific a week ago in that victory over Tampa Bay, Charles.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
Now a play fake. Carr able to find Waller. That's complete. And he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas. Seeing some pretty good offense here in this first quarter.
It's been a wild start to this quarter, as you noted. And now with that lead that we're seeing, can they retaliate? I get the sense this one's going to go back and forth all game long.
And that probably won't be the last long touchdown that we see in this one. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. On is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. As the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended their drive in the end zone.
You're right about that, partner. Sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? Just score again, but we know it's not that simple because we don't just make adjustments at halftime if you're a good football team. You spend that time on the sideline, you study what's on the notes and the tablets, and you make those adjustments, prevent a repeat of the last drive. Series to series, the best teams, that's how they get it done.
And we'll find out here soon enough whether those adjustments are enough defensively. That first down there on a pickup of 25.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. He rifles one that's intercepted. Monte Nicholson picks it. And the Raiders are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line. Well, this defense was victimized earlier in this opening quarter. This time, a measure of revenge.
Well, they always tell defenses you have to have a short memory. But I also think it helps if you remember what happens to you before, and now you're able to flip it around. They didn't want to show weakness and let this offense think they could do whatever they want. And they turned things around in that case and picked one off themselves.
Meanwhile, Carr's throw there complete to Mooney. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
First rep of the game for Josh Jacobs. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
Oh, that was a thing of beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync, and the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. They get back over to the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there. Now it'll be 3rd down.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Part of what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and shorted the sticks. They had a chance there to really build a nice early lead, go up a couple of scores. But he doesn't hit that one quite right, and it winds up in empty possession.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. Been a little bit of an interesting start. The first drive for him, Charles, they had the passing touchdown. The second drive, he threw the interception. So we'll see what this 3rd drive of the ball game brings.
Yeah, it's kind of a tiebreaker, isn't it? I mean, that's the tough part for them and for him because, yeah, things went really well in that first one, not so well on the second one. He wants to get back to what he did to get this game going.
From just shy of midfield, Mahomes throwing the out route here, and it's complete to Kelce. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35.
With every game, with every season, Travis Kelce, he just confirms his greatness. Streak of 1,000-yard seasons is now up to 6, and he's made 7 straight Pro Bowls, and his numbers have ranked him among the best tight ends to have ever played in the NFL. Another first down right there to add to his career total.
17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Monte Nicholson picks it. And the Raiders are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Charles, not only is that an interception, it's one when you were really knocking on the door for a touchdown inside the red zone.
You're actually thinking points. No matter what, at worst, you're thinking kicking a field goal and getting 3. We might look back on this in the second half and say, you remember when they didn't get points on that drive? This could cost them.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked up by Justin Reed. And the Chiefs will have the football as this is taken up past the 30. And this, Charles, definitely not what they were wanting to see. Remember, he threw 3 interceptions in the loss last week, and now he gives the ball away again here in the very first quarter.
And you have to think that this was drilled into him all week, too, by his teammates, by his coaching staff. They've told him all week long, we've got to protect the football. They probably crossed that fine line with...
And Mahomes misfires again, and it's intercepted. Monte Nicholson picks it. And the Raiders are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line. Well, this is just crazy. He's got 3 interceptions, Charles, and we haven't even departed the first half of this ball game.
I think if you're looking at the stats right now, you're saying, all right, who's the leading receiver? Well, can you flip it around and say that maybe he is and could be for the game the way that things are going right now? I think if it's him, he wants to be on the field at all times.
Now after the INT, it's Carr. Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Carr going to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
And this drive is almost over before it began, thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on the first down, followed by an incompletion. One more good rep, and they get off the field.
The Chiefs will use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter.
What now?
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now Carr. This is White on the screen. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. They'll wind up with 17 on that one, but they're still a bit short here for 4th.
And when you have success throwing the football, the old cliche becomes true. The playbook opens up wide, and these screen passes, they become even more difficult to stop.
They'll go for it. It's Carr. He gets this to Davante Adams. And he is going to have a Raiders first down as they manage to convert. And that'll keep the drive alive. What a time for his first catch as they get the conversion on 4th.
That last throw, Charles, is going to move him past 32,942 yards passing for his career, and that surpasses the total of the Hall of Famer and a colleague of both of ours, Troy Aikman.
Yeah, played from 1989 to 2000. And Troy Aikman, he was about winning. Because remember, he had Michael Irvin to throw it to. He had Emmitt Smith to hand it to. Just imagine if he was throwing it the way they throw it around nowadays. His numbers, boy, would they be sky high.
With a dime look on defense, 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Carr.
And that is incomplete. Nearly intercepted. The free safety couldn't quite get his hands around it, and it brings up 3rd down.
The man's getting a little loose with the football. Interception before, almost had one here. He's got to start taking better care of it.
Yeah, really should have been back-to-back drives with interceptions. He's lucky there. And it'll be intercepted.
And the Chiefs are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. Boy, the coverage there, airtight as he comes away with the interception.
Love that observation there because they were taking a shot at the end zone, but you're right about the coverage. Absolutely tremendous. And this they could clip for a training tape. Staying with him down the field, locates the football in the air, and comes away with the interception.
And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Throwing now is Mahomes. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
They go play fake. Mahomes. It's an interception. Picked off by Duron Harmon. And the Raiders are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. Well, we heard all week that they were going to put the football in the air a lot. The problem is that is now 4 interceptions, Charles, that he has thrown in this first half. How do you treat a situation? What do you say to your quarterback right now?
Boy, that's an interesting question because a lot of it depends on the head coach and the people making the decisions. You have to know your quarterback and know if he's mentally tough enough to have a chance to turn it around. Or is he a guy that maybe you've seen enough and it's time to go to the backup? But right now what you're rooting for is your defense to help keep you in the game, to give him an opportunity to get back on track.
So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory as they've got it to the 28-yard line. On play action, now Carr going to throw deep for the end zone. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
As a coaching staff, you can call just about whatever you want because you understand you have guys who reliably take away those massive shots downfield. You're not as worried about giving up the big one.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Back to throw here. That's complete to his tight end, Waller. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. That'll put him over 100 yards receiving now here in this first half of action.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Slot man moves right. Here's Carr. Looking again for Waller, and he's got him again. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4.
Such a tough position to defend near the line, even when you add a second defender, but the big man shrugged off the extra body and made the play call a success.
The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Jet sweep. Carr bats it forward. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Nice plays out there with the touchbacks. Real good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
They did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
Carr now on 3rd and goal. And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
What an excellent defensive stand there in the red zone. Nice tight coverage. They certainly recognized how important it was to bring up 4th down here.
Carlson able to put this one through. And they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. Well, they already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go. than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness. Maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
To try again after the sack. Mahomes. That's complete to Tony. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback...
And my goodness, another interception. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score. Carlson on for the PAT. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Fielded right around the 8. And he returns this to the 22. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we're having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 49 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
That went into the hands of Tony downfield. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A well-executed 22-yard gain. On play action, it's Mahomes. He's going to look deep for more. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
Early on, the running game's been working well, and the offensive line has been pleased by that. The thought process there, catch those safeties creeping up, trying to help against the running game. They tried to hit them over the top, unsuccessfully.
On 2nd and 10, Mahomes. That ball is caught. Marquez Valdes-Scantling. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
My first thought is surprise, because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
To throw on 2nd and 10, Mahomes. And that's caught. It's Kelce. Touchdown, Kansas City. Travis Kelce, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Chiefs get a late score here in the final minute of the first half. Well, CD, you know, anytime they get close to the red zone, he is such a threat, and there he is again already, his 2nd touchdown of the ball game.
And I know it's probably a little bit of a failing on my part, but you know I watch a game through defensive eyes, and I don't understand what the coverage was doing there. When he headed out deep, they should have adjusted and flowed towards him. Instead, they left him out there and gave him a chance to make a big play. And, of course, he did exactly that. His size, speed, and versatility makes him a top target in any game.
So unable to throw it in for 2 from the 2. Let me ask you, as a former DB, what changes there around the goal line on a 2-point conversion as far as how you're defending it?
You just make sure you never back up and you never retreat. You establish yourself really on the line of scrimmage, put your heels on the goal line at worst, and if they're going to throw the ball, make them throw it over your head because they're going to run out of space because of the back of the end zone. Never let a guy catch one in front of you.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Already enjoying a 2-score lead here late in the second quarter. Not a ton of time left. We'll see if they can work this at least into field goal range and try to get 3 to add on even more to their lead. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. From the 31, Carr. Looking deep for Adams. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half. Trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
And this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
Here's White. They set up the screen. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And with Mahomes under center, anything's possible. Watch out for the deep ball. And some space here. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Raiders out in front. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And they'll let that one go as it skips through the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And Charles, some things to like about that first half. Ultimately trailing here, but certainly this deficit is manageable. So curious to see what adjustments they may have made at intermission.
As am I, because I think things bode well for possible comeback, because I thought a lot of the best reps in the first half came through the passing game. They were hitting the open receivers, taking whatever the coverage gave them and making it work well for themselves. Now, they just want to pick up the pace and score it a little bit. So I expect them to come out and continue to throw the ball effectively.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Mahomes going to throw. And now here's another interception. And the Raiders are going to take possession of the football. Tough one there. First drive of the third quarter, throw an interception, and now a chance that they could be in even a bigger hole if they can convert this into points.
Yeah, but how good do you feel if you're that defensive coordinator right now? Because you just know that the head coach looked at him and said, turn him loose, big man. And he'd be able to take a few extra chances playing with this type of a lead, and boy, it paid off.
On 1st and 10, here's Carr. He'll get this underneath to Jacobs. And they're going to get this down to about the 37. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
Going to give it to Jacobs. And this will be a gain of 6 when it's all said and done. Down to the 15 from the 21.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball. But when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
On 2nd down and 4, Carr. And his throw here is incomplete.
Well, the secondary's really struggled today, but that's a little bit of a measure of revenge, isn't it? And they just followed the basic rules. See ball, knock ball away, turns into a nice play.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Here's Carr to throw. He's got a man open. It's Hunter Renfrow. Touchdown! 3rd touchdown pass now for Derek Carr as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead is up to 18 now. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. From the 6. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. To throw, it's Mahomes. He's got a man, complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. They fake the give, now Mahomes. And down he goes, brought down a Raider sack. D Ford, credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10.
43!
After the sack on 1st down, Mahomes, he's going to rifle one deep left side. It's caught inside the 25. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. Now Mahomes. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Now whistles, and the Raiders are going to signal for a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. in some hot water now after that sack. It's 2nd and 21. Now here's Mahomes. This is caught. And in for the Chiefs touchdown. Rondale Moore, 29 yards. And the Chiefs get a bit closer.
When you give up a long touchdown drive, you're looking for a silver lining. In this case, it's the fact that your offense had a chance to rest, and now they can come out in the field charged up and ready to go.
Extra point by Butker is on target. And that'll make this now an 11-point deficit. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Their lead down to 2 scores after the touchdown a moment ago as they start with a 1st and 10. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. Chris Jones that time coming in with a tackle behind the line. On 2nd and 12, Carr. And, he's unable to hold on to that defensively. A potential game changer, but it falls incomplete.
Well, you certainly don't want to go 3 and out here and get the football right back because your friend, old momentum, he's wondering if he should change sidelines about right now. And if you don't convert here, guess what? He's going to make the trek to the opposite side, and all of a sudden, you've got a battle on your hands.
Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Trent McDuffie with a pick. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. So that potentially a turning point here this 3rd quarter. A 2-score lead down to 1 now following the pick 6.
And that had to be the message at halftime for this defense. Delivered and accepted. We need to go out there and make something happen.
Now with the play clock about to expire, we get a whistle and a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. Now Mahomes to the line as the Chiefs are going to go for the 2-point try. So after the INT, here's Mahomes. And he's got it. So the try for 2 successful. And with it, they're back within a field goal. I guess the coach looked at the 2-point cheat sheet, said go for it, get it to a 3-point game, and they did it.
Yeah, and sometimes you just throw out time of game. You don't worry about that. There's just a feel sometimes in making that call. And he felt good about what he had for a 2-point conversion. And now they're only down 3 and feeling great about themselves.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Pretty important 3rd quarter drive for them. Momentum has sort of shifted the other direction after that last touchdown as they nurse this small lead. Now Carr to try again after the pick 6. And that is incomplete.
But I guess that answers the question whether or not they want him throwing it again right away after throwing the pick 6 on the previous drive.
Yeah, not something conservative or underneath. Pretty big shot right there.
Get him right back in the saddle and say, go ahead and sling it, big guy.
A good action to this point in the 3rd quarter. Just a 3-point game. 2nd and 10. Running straight ahead is Jacobs. And here's another tackle made at the line. So they're converging well on the football now. Officially nothing on that one. No gain. So they're left with still 10 to go on 3rd down. Right now they settle down started. They need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains.
To throw, it's Carr. And it's complete to Adams.
And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
Here's Jacobs from the gun. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Throwing now is Carr.
He's going to find and complete it to Renfro. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
First down, here's White. And good space to operate there as he takes this down inside the 35-yard line.
1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night.
I'll tell you, far from ideal conditions to play in, but neither offense has had much trouble. Plenty of points to go around. 1st and 10.
Now Carr.
Throw right side, going to be caught by Waller. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
On 2nd down, Jacobs.
And down inside the 15 he goes.
Solid gain of 18 and a Raider first down. Starting to feel a little to me like the air is coming out of the balloon, so to speak, defensively.
They're taking their will from them right now. That's what they're doing. Whatever they want to call, it's working. They're handling things up front, and it's not just the offensive line. It's everyone. You're seeing the guys on the perimeter blocking downfield and making sure that they're secure. So, yeah,
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted.
Trent McDuffie with a pick. And the Chiefs are right back in this football game. So, my goodness, I wouldn't have thought this possible not too long ago, but that turnover there means we have a game again.
Yeah, it's been a completely different team here in the second half. I just wonder on the other side of the field where the starters telling the backups, get ready, you're going to get some playing time. And now guess what? Hope they didn't cut the tape off of their wrists and ankles. They've got to go back out there and play.
And they'll get him down up past the 15.
So that last play gives him a little more space now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 16-yard line. Throwing now is Mahomes. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Trying to erase that deficit all at once. One big shot. He took it. Unfortunately for him, incomplete.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. From the gun, they will run with McKinnon. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker.
Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Rock Ya-Sin. And the Raiders are going to take over here up near the 40. Well, that puts a little bit of a wrinkle in their comeback bid.
Yeah, everything had turned around for them, hadn't it? I mean, things were now going their way. But you did mention it's a wrinkle in their comeback bid. It's not the death knell for them by any stretch, but now they've got some extra work to do in order to climb all the way back.
Here's a run on first down that won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He will lose a yard. 2nd and 11. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
Now a deep ball on 2nd down.
The offense scheme going 5 wide, trying to create a chance for the big shot, and they took it. If he comes down with that, that's a huge offensive swing. But credit the defense with a nice play, knocking that one away.
The Raiders on 3rd down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is 3rd and 11. Carr now to throw. And the Chiefs are going to get him. It was Frank Clark that time who got in there to bring him down.
Speedy, elusive, always a threat to get to the quarterback. Frank Clark remains a high-end defender and made his 3rd straight Pro Bowl in 2021.
And he gets this away, angled for the sideline with a lock behind it. Wow. And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a 4th quarter lead. And he goes down at the 26. A pickup of 13, and that last play began at the 13. First down. On first down, McKinnon again. And even 100 yards rushing for him now to this point.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
On 2nd down and 4, Mahomes. Slant route, that's complete to Travis Kelce. He's been big, 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a first down here. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down.
Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
A dump down to McKinnon. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8.
3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the fourth. Second down, McKinnon. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
I like the call there because that was one to take time off the clock and get them closer to getting out of here with a W. In the mind of the play caller, all you want to hear is tick, tick, tick.
Mahomes. A dump down to McKinnon. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 27-yard line. Instead of a 3rd-and-1 run, they go pass, and they get 12 yards out of it.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Mahomes will throw. Looking left side, and it's complete. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. Well, they have had no answer for this connection all night long.
They just have to think in a 2-minute situation, that's got to be a concentration lapse. You know they're going to go back to him with the game that he's been having.
Mahomes to throw it. And it's intercepted at the goal line. And the Raiders have just about sewn up this football game. So a good drive with a bad ending, Charles. They move it down the field well. Cannot finish it off, though, as it's intercepted in the end zone.
Deflating, that has got to be the word here because they were sharp in moving it down the field. But sometimes you start thinking like a touchdown is a given. And it doesn't always work out that way as we saw there.
So this one a victory for the Las Vegas Raiders. Well, Charles, I mean, when you look at the stat sheet, ultimately one thing sticks out like a sore thumb. One side.
Whenever I touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. 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 I hope y'all can S-double-E, cause I need your eyes on me. Once I get my feet in this end zone, no one can S-T-O-P. Can I make a scene like a movie, feeling big, keep it juicy before we start getting unruly. I've been hooping like a hoolie, keep it coolie before I stuff you in a locker like a bully. Like a bully. Put in the work, you can see my fingernail dirt. I'm the last one to leave, even when I come first. Yeah, you might want it bad, but I'm sure I want it worse. I'ma do it cause I love it, I'ma love it till it hurts. What's the worst that can happen, Captain? I'm strapped in, no I'm not crazy, I'm just tapped in. Hungry like I'm fasting, I'm about that action, no slacking. Well, I'm sorry, Miss Jackson, cause here comes the pain, no one to call up for help.
Lights came, prime time action. Run it up, touchdown, I'm snapping. In the field with the plays, John Madden. It's so many given Sunday magic. Lights came, prime time action. Run it up, touchdown, I'm snapping. In the field with the plays, John Madden. It's so many given Sunday magic. Round of applause and you go, that's it. Damn, that's a bomb with a flick on my wrist. Jersey on my chest, that's a team that I rep. Came in as a rookie, now I'm balling like a vet. If you talking crazy, better say it with your chest. Hit him with the right.
It's that hate, boy. Yeah, my day ones here to dance with the beginning. So you know it's only right, that's how we end it. Came all the way from losing to winning. Yeah, I did it. But it ain't just me, it's the whole team. Share it with the whole team. Congratulate the whole team. Cause when you riding like we riding with each other, ain't no I in this. It's the whole team. Share it with the whole team. Congratulate the whole team. Cause when you riding like we riding with each other, ain't no I in this. Tell them line it up like a different when we sneaky, when we slide. No, y'all on offense with no defense, now y'all time is up. We make the hits, y'all take the hits, and now we fired up. 3, 2, 1, don't need no break. Hut 1, hut 2, give it straight, that's how I like it. And we grind it every night to make it hit, now it's exciting. See, they just getting cake, they ain't never gonna get no ice. And all we want is chips, ring fingers looking ice. My day ones had to dance at the beginning. So you know it's only right, that's how we end it. Came all the way from losing to winning. Yeah, I did it. But it ain't just me, it's the whole team. Share it with the